Greetings and salutations. See what happens when you water your Jeep? It grows. No, not really. There's mine. How pathetic. Muy bueno. Look who's here today.
Hi everyone.
Martin so graciously came over here today to help me change my fuel injectors. I don't know if this will make this pile run any better, but we'll see. But this guy is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to modifying one of these things, obviously. Let's take a little walk around here. This might look familiar. It was in a video, about a month and a half ago?
Yeah, something like that.
We're with the pick apart. 37s?
35.
35. Still. He let me drive it today. And I got the lump on my head to prove it. This thing is tall. Check this out. It's up to my waist. What's that for?
Oh, that's my manual shifter.
What?
Yeah, I hit a switch, and let's see. That's first gear, second, third. Let me see. Sorry, third, fourth, and then let's see. Man, I can't do that again. It's been a while. But the thing is about the Jeep Cherokees, you cannot go into second gear.
Or low one?
Yeah, because you got a 1 or 2. The only way it goes into second gear is if you hit around 4,800 RPM. Well, that's useless. So sometimes first gear is too slow, third gear is too fast, but you want second. So I got the manual shifter to force it in, second gear.
Cool. So that hooks into your valve body then?
Well,
or how's it to your TCM?
It hooks into that transmission control unit because your transmission's controlled electrically.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a switch on the dash that I flick, and then that overrides and goes into manual mode.
Cool. Big old nasty light bar, 52-inch light bar?
I think that's a 50.
50? Yeah. Did you make those mounts?
No, those are from Rough Country.
Some rock sliders. Looks like they get a little bit of use.
It has one time, it looks like.
A little bit of body armor. You said you got that because you dented it?
Yep, on the opposite side. I did touch the lens on the other side and put a dent right across there. And I finally, had to put the armor on it.
Not to mention all the modifications underneath the hood, and one of which we're going to do today on my pile, and that's we're going to change the injectors. So let's get to it. For those who aren't familiar, these things right here are the fuel injectors. And on this one, since it's a 6-cylinder, there are 6 of them. So we're going to trade these out for, these are stock. How many holes are these? 4?
I think they're actually a 1-hole.
A 1-hole injector.
Yeah.
And the ones that you have with you are 4-hole injectors. And why would one want to put a 4-hole injector into a...
Well, you're going to get a lot better atomization out of your fuel. It's going to have a finer spray, so it should burn better.
You more of a complete burn?
More of a complete burn. And on this 6-cylinder, what you're going to notice is a better idle, better fuel efficiency, and increased throttle response.
Those injectors are...
They are the Bosch, well, I call them the 703s, which is the last 3 part numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll find those very common on what they call the Dodge Neon injector.
Okay.
So...
what model year Neon would you find those in?
We'd be looking at probably maybe 98, but definitely 97 and some earlier models into the probably 95 to 98, I'm going to say. Dodge Neon would be the 2.2 and 2.4 liter 4-cylinders. They are starting to become a little bit rare if you're looking for them at the pick apart or your salvage yards because they've already kind of cycled through.
Right.
And now you're going to be seeing the later ones, which is the EV6 connector. That's a different style connector.
So you have to change these.
You would have to change these for any 98 or earlier 4-liter Jeep motor. And then for those that are going to do this mod, for your 99 and like your 01 Jeep Cherokees or your Wranglers, you would want to have the EV6. So you'd want to run that style of injector.
Because they have the different connector already.
Yeah, the different connector.
Alright, first thing we need to do is get some of this crap out of the way. Now, pull this off, get out the way. There's 4 bolts that hold the fuel rail on. This is the fuel rail. I'll pull the connections, all the connectors for the injectors. This whole bracket assembly's got to come off. These cables got to come off. Basically, everything that's in the way of this coming out of the engine needs to get moved out the way. I'm going to do that now, and we'll come back. Alright, before you pull the injectors off the fuel rail, you want to make sure that the pressure's bled off the system. Otherwise, you'll take a bath in gasoline. You don't want to do that, do you, Martin?
No, you certainly don't.
So in the Jeep Cherokee, you have your relay and fuse layout, and this says fuel pump right here. It's this relay here. So pull this relay out and start the vehicle. It'll run for a few seconds maybe, and as soon as most of the pressure's bled out, it will stall. Come on. Martin does this with a pair of needle nose pliers, but I'm just too fat and lazy to go get them. There we go. Pressure's bled.
And what you might want to do too, even after you bleed that pressure off, the rail is still probably has a few pounds of pressure in it because the injectors operate at a certain pressure,
right,
and they're going to die at, let's say, 20 psi or something. So technically you would want to come here and do that as well.
Let's get a rag and mop that up.
Yeah. And you kind of want to do this on an ice cold motor too.
Don't do it on a hot motor in the desert in June, unless you have to. Like in the event you need to change your injector on a trail.
Exactly.
Gas just doesn't smell good anymore.
No.
Remember when it used to smell good? Back when it had lead in it? There wasn't a whole lot of pressure in there. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, that pressure regulator that you have probably it has a check valve in it, and it is allowing the fuel to go back
into the tank.
Into the tank, yep.
Need a pry bar?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe first time.
Wow. There we go. Make sure all the O-rings came out too, eh?
Exactly.
Okay, so that's out. I'm not going to disconnect the fuel rail, and we have another fuel rail here with the injectors that we're going to put in here. Well, I'll just show how to take the injectors off through there. Yeah. Once you get the fuel rail out, you need to remove these clips right here to get the injectors out.
Removing the injectors, we just simply do that. Yeah, a little twisting maybe, and don't be surprised. Well, that one came out really easy. Sometimes the O-ring will stay inside the fuel rail. So be cautious of that.
Yeah, you don't want to try to cram on another injector with an O-ring on it.
Yes.
With an O-ring stuck in it. And if you live in the Rust Belt, this is probably going to be junk anyway.
Those are coming out awful easy. There we go.
So this is what you want to look for when you're pulling the injectors, to make sure that you don't leave an O-ring behind, because you'll break something if you try to put a new injector in that hole with two O-rings in it. So same thing, when we pulled this fuel rail out, there was an O-ring stuck in here too. So you want to double check to make sure that this O-ring doesn't stay inside the manifold. Yeah, see, this one stayed in, that one came out. Bueno? No bueno. Double check so you don't break things, because these things are starting to get old. Yeah, kind of like me. After a few minutes cleaning the carbon out of the bores there with a shotgun swab and some carb cleaner. Oh, that's nice. See, you never know when beating a shooter to come to your advantage.
Exactly. A 20 gauge one would have been really like perfect.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah.
Who uses a 20 gauge anyway?
Yeah, that's a girl's shot.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, so the bores are clean. Let it sit open for a little while. Let some of that carb cleaner evaporate. I'm fixing to put the injectors back into the fuel rail, and then slip the injectors in the fuel rail back into the bores of the intake manifold. And I'm going to install a little bit of lubricant on the O-ring so they slip in really nice. Don't forget your lube.
It's not just for bottoms anymore.
That's right. Doesn't take much, just a little bit. Just enough to coat, put a little coat on the O-ring. A little bit goes a long way. That's what she said. Reading glass, there we go. Alright, we plug these back in, make sure you don't cross them. This would be kind of like crossing spark plug wires, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Only worse. There. Now just put everything back the way it came apart, and plug your relay back in, and if you're lucky, it'll run. Firing.
All right.
What's wrong, Martin?
I don't know. Ach, du liebe alte Himmel. Floor it. I don't know. Doesn't sound right. Something's got a miss. Not that one. Oh, that one. I have one more injector.
Well, let's depressurize that fuel system again.
Okay. Can you get it?
Twenty minutes later.
So one injector that wasn't firing, hopefully it was the injector. If it wasn't, then we need to start getting into the connector, eh?
Yeah, it looked good on the ends. A lot of times the wiring on the ends of these the insulation will get bad, and they can short out, so you do want to inspect those. It always seems like right at the ends.
Right where it goes into the water pack with the waterproof part. Let's see.
Oh, there he is.
Success! My wife's gonna be pissed.
Nice.
Let's go take her for a drive.
All right.
Tire's a little warm.
Oh yeah, you can hear the gravel sticking.
Looks like rubber in here.
You smell rubber. Uh-oh.
Wheels, it goes my wife.
Was that Deb?
Yeah.
She's like, getting the hell out of the way, huh?
Were you scared?
Maniac. All I can say.
Huh?
Maniac.
I wouldn't hit you.
And not intentionally.
Not intentionally. Pay no attention to the big black mark in the driveway.
What?
No, never.
We'll have to park on top of that.
I'll do what I can. Well, success. Thank you, Martin.
You're welcome.
I'll put a link to his YouTube channel. How about that? And maybe a link to the fuel injector install that you did on the Grand Cherokee.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You know, head on over to his head over to his page and subscribe to his channel. Okay?
And don't forget to subscribe to this guy's channel too.
If you haven't already.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And also down there next to the subscribe button, there's a little bell, a little picture of a bell. Go ahead and ring that bell, and you'll be notified of future uploads. Share this video with your vast social media network. Click the like button and just hammer away at that like button if you don't mind. That one. And until next time, fellas, you have fun, stay safe, shoot straight, keep your powder dry. Have a splendid day. We gotta clean up that rubber, you know. Where's that other rail?
I don't even know what we did with it. We lost it.
Lost it. Damn it.
We lost it.
You know, once you get to be 50 years old.
Oh yeah. I almost forgot why we came here.
What? The hell did I do with that thing? I don't know either. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Where all the time goes. It isn't.
Yeah, it's the.
It's just trying to remember where you left